set up your system, you have to realize that the turret turns in a counterclockwise fashion. You're also going to set up your priming system, but I'm not going to go into this right now. This is just a basic overview. So what you want to do is set your dies up in the order of the operation that goes. Make sure you have your shell holder in place. Run it up, run the die down until it touches, and put the tension on the set collar here. Run it down. Then we go into the flaring die. Run it. These are already pre-adjusted for me. I'm taking this apart for you. Run this down. To where it touches the shell holder. Slightly less maybe, depending on how much flare you need on your case. Now, when you get to the seating die and the factory crimp die, the way to tell is to look inside of them. Now, inside the seating die, you're going to see the plunger that seats the bullet. On the factory crimp die, it's hollow all the way through. Remember, the solid plunger is your seating die. Now, you're going to have to adjust this yourself because you have a roll crimp on here, and I've set it up to where the roll crimp only takes out the flare very slightly. So when we run it up to seat our bullet, we bring it back down. Then we go ahead and put in the factory crimp die, which I've already pre-adjusted, and put it in place. Now, this is important what I'm about to show you here. Go ahead and install your priming system. The reason why I want to do this is because the powder measure, when it turns, has to clear this. Go ahead and take this little nut out of this guy. I place mine to where this is directly over all the dies, and when it turns, it clears the priming tool. Now on this guy here, there's a knurled ring here that turns this. You secure it in place in the powder through die. Turn it until it goes all the way down and stops. It takes a little while. Once it stops turning, you're there. And when you do this, it's going to be difficult for you to put one of the brass retaining nuts on here. And that's because the seating die will get in the way. So you want to do this side first by lifting this up slightly and slipping this brass nut under here and turn it. When it takes a few turns, it's in place. Install the other one. This has to be hand tight. Now what actuates it is the case itself. So as we go through the die here, or the loading sequence, what you're going to see is it turns every time. But as we run this up, nothing happens here. That's because there's no case in it. And this is the part of the system that I like. It has the feature of a single stage press, but with the features of a progressive press. And let me show you how that works. Now when you put a case into the press, several things happen. Now we want to make sure that we start out with the full length sizing die. All these dies look different, and when you look at them, you'll know what the differences are. Now here we take a case. It's been fired. We run it up. It decaps it. It drops the primer straight through the ram and down into a little tube underneath it. And what that tube does is it catches all your primers instead of sticking them in like a little tray or in the cavity underneath the die. Then this deploys the new primer into the priming ram. As it goes down, it seats it. Now, From here, we go directly into the flaring and powder through die. This is one of the only dies on the market that does this. As it goes up, it engages that expanding tube in the center. As you notice, right here, it would have dropped the charge right down inside the case. And what you will see is when you look up here, you'll be able to watch and see the powder going into it. If you have any doubts when you're going through this, you can take the case out here and look at it. Make sure you got powder in it. Something that I like to keep on the bench just to make things safer is a little LED light. So I can inspect each case as it comes down. The last thing you want is to have a case with a primer, a bullet, and no charge in it. Then we go into the seating, then into the factory crimp, and then we start over again. Seat the primer. Of course, you have to deploy the primer through the priming system. Charge it. At this point, you would place a bullet in it, seat the bullet, put the factory crimp on it, and to size out any overages in the case diameter here. And you're done. That's one loaded round. This takes some getting used to, and once you get a rhythm, you can easily load 500 rounds an hour. But the only thing that this thing won't do for you is trim the cases. And me, myself, I like to trim my own cases. But if you're shooting from the same box of ammunition, they're all going from the same load, they're going to stretch about the same anyway. So they should be consistent, and you need to measure them every time to make sure you're not exceeding the case overall length, which will spike your pressures. So this is the basic overview of this press here. Now I'm going to show you another press that I have that was their turret press. It was only a 3-position or a 3-die turret, and that's been sitting in the box for years because I didn't like how it worked and it would miss. This is an absolute positive turning. It won't go halfway and stick or any of that like the old press did. Let me go ahead and grab that for you. Here's my old turret press. As you can see, there's a huge difference in the quality and the design. This is one of the first generation's ones that came out. Now with the new classic turret press, they worked out all the bugs, and it's made of superior materials all around. So what this one would do is I would run it up and run it down, and you see it wouldn't index completely. And this is one of the reasons why I go ahead and put it to the side. Now there's nothing wrong with this press here, it's just that it wasn't designed as well. It's just the first generation compared to the 3rd generation press, there's no comparison. And one more feature about the Lee classic turret press, which actually goes into all their products, they stand behind their products. If you have a problem with anything, give them a call. They're real friendly people. They will handle your questions, and if something breaks or if something's not working right, send it back, they'll send you a new one. They're great people, and I like doing business with them. I'll be doing more business with Lee here very soon. Now that I see that their products are constantly going through evolutionary changes to make them better, stronger, and more precise, this press here really makes me happy, and I'll be making a lot of ammunition on it. And one other note, on the turret or the powder measure, you can get a double disc kit where you can stack them. And what that allows you to do is if you're loading for, say, the 44 Magnum or any of the Magnum calibers, you can stack them together to get the charge you want. But that is a customer option that you have to order at a different point or add it to your order when you're making your purchase. Now these are available through Midway, Natchez, and many other outlets that sell fine reloading equipment.